What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Okie Brody, and today, this is the part I do this every single Sunday. This is a part where I do Sunday Spooky. It's what it's called, Sunday Spooky. So basically, I do animated stories, and my name for my Twitter, so you guys can send me videos that's scary, is right there. Okay, so now it's time. I don't know how much, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, so I'm basically gonna be doing 6 to 5.
No, not Dr.
This?
Bam.
This?
Mystery Man is standing outside and trying to enter
My name is Pascal. I'm 22 years old now, but this event happened 3 years ago when I was 19.
Okay.
It happened in the middle of the night when my parents were away for an important company meeting. The company was kind of far away from where we lived, so I stayed home by
So
myself
this
while
is
they were
basically
gone.
scary animated stories.
One time, while I was at home alone, I looked out the window randomly and froze. There was a tall man, almost dressed entirely in black. He was
Okay.
wearing a tuxedo and holding a kitchen knife. This guy was standing right outside of the door, looking at me.
Oh, flip.
He wasn't laughing at all,
Oh,
and his
flip.
head was twitching continuously. Sir, please get off our property, otherwise I'll call the police. I opened the window and told him. Then the man replied, "Oh, you can do that if you want, as long as you don't look away." Because of this strange
What?
attitude,
Oh, he looked
I felt
away.
anxious. So I grabbed my cell phone and called the police. But when I looked out the window again, he was gone. At that
Bro, why
very
do you
moment,
look away then?
I heard footsteps
It
coming
just
from
told him
downstairs.
not to look
I
away.
suddenly remembered that I forgot to lock my garden door, so it was still open. I thought I was gonna die at first, but then I pulled myself together. I got my bat and looked down the stairs, slowly, trying not to make a sound. There he was. He was just staring at me. He didn't move, but said, "I told you not to look away."
With bird.
A few moments later, we heard sirens. The man still did not move. But then he suddenly changed his mind and walked over to me. I tried to swing my bat towards him, but I was so scared. I couldn't do anything except scream. The police broke down the door. One policeman tried to arrest him, and the other one tried to take the knife away from him, but the man resisted. He was strong. Even though he was outnumbered, they couldn't stop him.
Oh no.
They threatened to shoot him in the foot, but he didn't care. Furthermore, he attacked the two policemen, and they tumbled down to the ground. I ran to one of the rooms and slammed the door shut, but he kicked in the door. When the door opened, I could see his face, and I will never, ever forget that moment. However, at that very moment, the police caught up to him and shot his foot. The guy started screaming in pain. Shortly after that, he managed to jump outside of a window and disappeared. The policeman chased after him,
Thanks, sir.
but
Right.
unfortunately, they
Right.
failed to arrest him. I never saw that guy again. I'm glad that I survived that incident, but I also feel nervous that he'll come to my house again. From that day on, I always made sure I locked
Okay.
all the doors and windows.
What
The
the?
new Weber Smoke Fire Wood Pellet Grill. It smokes, it sears, it does it all.
Okay, 2. It's 2. Scene 2. What are you doing, Mom? Guys, sorry about that.
From that day on, I always made sure I locked all the
I'm
doors
sorry
and
about
windows.
that. Now it's 2. Number 2, number 2, number 2. Number 2. Yep, 40 minutes already.
When I was a teenager, I would often explore the deep
No,
web
guys,
with my
I'm gonna be doing
friends.
3 of them. That's it.
Specifically, weird
Okay,
stuff.
3
and
anime
hidden
stories.
movies. There were definitely a lot of links to choose from. I never clicked on the vital links because I'm not into that. My friend Latrice told me to click on one that says New Best Friend. After doing so, it takes you to a page where you have to make a profile. I put the name Lisa on my profile. My real name is Susan. Once I made the profile, you are directed to a main page that has categories. They were silly, serious, smart, and smothering. We clicked smothering. I thought it was funny. After choosing, there was a list of people with their pictures, male and female. I clicked on a profile of a guy that had the name 5, like the number 5. I entered, and it didn't seem like someone who would be a smothering friend.
Ew.
When I was searching through his profile, I received a message from him asking if I were looking for a friend. I looked at Latrice, and she laughed, but also told me to respond yes. So we're messaging back and forth for maybe 30 minutes, and then Latrice had to go. I told him I'll be back on tomorrow, and he said okay. Maybe a week went by where I would talk to him every night. He seemed very nice, so we exchanged numbers so we could talk more. Everything seemed fine until I clicked on another profile and someone else messaged me. I started talking with this other person, but still was texting the guy 5, which I knew his real name now as William. The new guy had the name Bill on his profile. A day went by, and he seemed cool, but then William randomly asked me why I was talking with Bill. I didn't know what to say, so I never responded. He kept texting with angry messages, so I blocked him. I didn't receive any texts, only a single message on that site, and it said soon. One day after school, my friend Latrice came over to have a sleepover.
Yep.
We got comfortable, went to my room, and did our usual of surfing through the web, being nosy. I brought up that guy. Then I received a text message that said, "Why'd you block me?" from a random number. I replied with a question mark. Then it replied, "It's me, William." He texted me from another number after I blocked him. I told Latrice how creepy this guy is. Then Latrice stopped me from talking because she thought she heard something. Then I heard a voice. "I'm not that creepy." We both responded by screaming and looking around. I saw someone coming from under my bed, so we ran screaming out of my room, and my mother called the cops. They didn't get him because he left in my window, and nothing could be traced back to him. I'm starting to think that he was both of the people I was talking to. That definitely opened my eyes to the dangers of the internet. I would never visit the dark web again.
Yeah, don't ever visit the dark web, guys. Ever.
A few years ago,
Okay, number
me and
30.
my family went on our yearly holiday to Madeira, which is the birthplace of my parents. It was pretty normal for us to go annually, as our grandparents were living there. We would sleep in one of our grandparents' home, and during the day, we would go to festivals. If you do not know much about Madeira, then this story will probably give you a better idea. It's not that a physical thing occurred that holiday. It was just this nightmare that became very real for me as a child. As I said before, I was staying at my grandparents' house while in Madeira. I had a room to myself on the upper floor. It was pretty creepy since my grandmother loved Victorian-style dolls. Once I was able to fall asleep, I had a creepy dream that I can't forget. I woke up, and from my bed, I could hear movement on the floor. I looked down to see that the floor was covered in black insects, just crawling around.
Sorry about the noise, guys.
I could not see the almond brown wood floorboards, and began to yell for help.
God.
Someone opened my door, and I saw my little brother come in. But behind him was a woman in a hideous purple dress.
Oh my God.
I never saw this woman before, but before my brother even came closer to me, I saw the woman force her hand into his back and tear out his heart. I remember screaming in the dream, and all the woman said was, "Your parents aren't here." And I woke up. I was so scared that I went into the next room where my brother should have been asleep. but because it was dark, I couldn't see him. Well, I was a dumb kid. My anxiety level rose even higher. I ran out, went downstairs, and none of my parents were around. I started to panic more because of what that lady in my dreams said, and I started to cry even more.
Oh my god.
Then I heard my older brother call my name from up the stairs. The stairs I just ran down. I told him I had a bad dream, and he stayed in my room after showing me that my little brother was snoring away in his bed. The next morning, my brother told my parents how I behaved, so my mother asked me what happened. I told her about the dream with the lady in the hideous purple dress. My mother's face became serious, and she looked worried. I didn't know why, since that was unusual for her. About 2 years later, I was going through my parents' wedding album in our home in Madeira. While I was sorting out the top floor of the house with my younger brother,
Yep.
I noticed that one of the pictures was ripped in half. I thought it was unusual, so I began looking through to see where the other half was.
Ew.
It wasn't in the album. I brushed it off. About an hour later, I was going through one of the drawers in the living room cabinet. I saw this picture of a woman in a purple
That
dress.
looks just like the
She
same
looked
one
almost identical to the
as the
woman in my
dream.
dream. It was the same dress.
Oh my gosh.
I began to get goosebumps, so I put the album on top of a table and opened it to the page with the teared up picture. I began to shiver once the tear of both pictures fit perfectly well together. With worry, I began to ask my mother who was in the image. All I know to this day is that she is perceived as a witch and fled with my maternal uncle from Madeira. Soon after, the whole community began to believe it. This is possibly all just a coincidence, but it
Yeah.
does send a shiver down my spine.
Yeah.
I've never met this woman, but she appeared in my dreams.
Okay.
I have no idea on whether or not I will forget the specific details of that dream, especially since I found out more
Guys,
about this woman, who is my aunt-in-law.
That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. 11 minutes, and catch you guys later. Subscribe, like, and notifications. Bye.